Hello, listeners, and welcome to Four Weebs, That Anime Podcast, where we watch some good anime and some bad anime, and we talk about it. So, this week, well, first I'll introduce us, because I always forget. I guess that's kind of important. My name's Leah. I will be the host for this week. Anyone else would like to come forward and introduce themselves?
My name's Liam. Fuck, shit, cock.
My name's Becca. That's my line, Liam.
Shit.
Damn it. Fuck
My
it.
name's
Just why are we swear?
apparently
Before
yes.
we start recording, we're
Discussing
talking about how
all
many
this
times we can swear in the intro.
Mm-hmm.
And in classic Liam fashion, I took it too far.
Typical
wasn't that far.
Liam.
I applaud you, Liam. It's okay. You win.
Oh, it's gonna be a
Anyway.
competition now? Go, Veda, go!
You keep interrupting me, Becca!
I know, that's why I said go!
That's my job.
Yeah, you stole Liam's job.
Why does Liam get all the fun?
Liam's supposed to be the interrupting, swearing
Because-
It's
guy.
like the harem lord, obviously.
Yeah, because he's the
Oh,
harem
goddamn
lord.
it.
He's the token penis.
I
Yeah.
challenge you to a penis duel!
That'd be a pretty one-sided
Oh, no.
duel.
This,
Veda, can you please introduce yourself, please?
Hi, everybody. My name is Veda. I'm also here.
Challenging people to a penis duel?
No,
Oh.
that's just Becca.
You know what? I could win.
Well, you know what? I can't even say that, this is bad conversation for us. And if anything, it's a good warning for any listeners who aren't a fan of swearing and sexual innuendo, because this episode we watched R-rated anime. So,
and I only saw one pair of titties.
sorry, Liam.
I saw a pair of titties. So excited.
Were they in the
Same
anime?
show.
I was really surprised. It was in like the first 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. I promised the good stuff,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And delivered.
I delivered.
Gonna
Yep.
stop
Alright,
it
so
talking.
I'll let the listeners know what we watched this week. Oh, fuck my life. I'm trying to remember my theme. That pretty much was the theme, was just watching, N17 R-rated animes. Because we've been watching some pretty, usual, more upbeat, funny anime that's considered bad and that sort of thing.
I suppose
so I
we
wanted
should
to darken the mood.
We should be specific in that they were animes, not hentais.
Yes,
Yeah.
they're still anime. It was
Yeah.
not hentai.
Yeah.
Correct. Thank you, Becca.
Mm-hmm.
So, should we start with the good anime or the bad anime this week?
You're the boss.
Okay, let's start with the good anime, because
Booyah.
I'm feeling lazy, and
What was-
I watched the bad one.
What was I supposed to watch again?
Becca.
So, Becca and Liam got to watch the good anime this week, and the one I picked was Phantom, Requiem for the Phantom. So, just a basic synopsis here. Alright, so the Mafia is rife in America, where assassinations are a regular occurrence on the streets. Inferno, a mysterious company, is behind most of these dealings through the use of their near-invincible human weapon, Phantom. One day, Japanese tourist accidentally witnesses Phantom's latest murder, and desperate to escape, he hides in a secluded building. Long story short, the Phantom named Ein captures him, they brainwash him, and now he is basically... Yeah, his name is
Zwei.
Zwei.
and he's now a puppet of Inferno with no memories, and he
Oh,
now
I
has to
get
be
it.
an assassin for them.
Ein and Zwei?
I'm Zwei.
Zwei, yeah. Which
I
is
don't-
German, right, guys?
Just got that.
I don't
yes.
get it. Can someone explain the reference?
German.
German 1-2.
Uh,
That
Boring.
I got it right away.
Well, good for you.
I have actively sought out not learning new languages since the horrible French debacle of 2009. So, sorry, I apologize for my ignorance, but
Nani?
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 Oh no. We also
Well, the title is Four Weebs. Like, come on.
Well, hey, I'll be learning Japanese eventually.
Right.
So I could be the only ignorant person. That will be my
You and
position.
Liam will just have, like, secret conversations in Japanese.
And I'll be like, I don't understand these stupid animes. Why do they keep showing me the girls' boobies but not the guys?
Shock.
Alright.
Hmm.
Love those
Becca, Liam.
opai.
What are your
Yeah.
initial thoughts?
My initial thoughts?
Yeah,
Yes.
you go first.
It was pretty good. I actually So, I wasn't sure what to think of this, because I kind of got the feeling, like, it reminded me a bit of, so many things, but kind of like Spies, and I'm not a big Spy fan. Like, in general, I don't seek out, like, Jason Bourne, or whatever the other one's called, Bond. I'm just not a big, like, spy person, so at first I was a little bit like, I'm gonna be so bored, but I pretty enjoyed it. Yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not my typical genre. I'm probably into spy stuff more than Becca is, but it's not like my main fix, especially with anime. So I was a little meh about it at first, but it's not bad.
Yeah.
I didn't regret watching the 3 episodes. I feel like it was just a little boring and slow in the first 3 episodes, because it's all basically the main character's training.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's not a montage.
It would be nice to see a bit more, I guess.
Yeah. I know I found the very first episode really long, because it felt like it had, like, more endings than The Hobbit. And that was all I could think, like, watching the rest.
Like that, but it did feel a little long.
It just felt like they kept on, like, setting it up for, like, there was 3 endings to the pilot episode, and there was, like, a spot where it could have ended, and then it kept going, and then there was another spot where it could have ended, then it kept going, and then it, like, hit another spot where it could have ended, and I was like, okay, where's the next little bit? And then it finally ended, and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know, I felt the second and third episode really picked up for me, though.
Yeah, and I have seen this anime, which is why I picked it.
Oh.
Because I started watching it again, because I bought it. Because it was on sale, and I bought it, and I was like, oh, like, I enjoyed this one, I'll give it to everyone, but, having restarted watching it myself, too, like, I'd agree, like, the first, like, 2 episodes are pretty, like, they're kind of dry.
Yeah.
But it definitely picks up.
Definitely, like, interesting story, to a certain extent.
I kind of got the feeling that the first 3 episodes are a little slow, because it's building up to, like, when, Zwi, when, I like, listened to his name so closely, because I don't want to fuck it up, and I'm still fucking it up. It definitely feels like Zwei is definitely gonna, like, shake up the entire... So I guess to recap, Zwei is the tourist that sees Inferno killing someone.
Yes.
Or people. They don't really clarify, like, why he was there or what exactly happened. They don't even really show what happened, except for, like, oh my god, we lost Leah.
Oh no. Oh
Leah?
no, wait.
Still here.
Leah, you're still there.
Okay.
You started your
Honestly,
video.
I wanted to turn off my mic because I had to sneeze. And then I realized I pressed the wrong one. And now I still have to sneeze, and it hasn't happened yet. There's a sticker over top of my camera anyway, so no action for you guys. Sorry.
Damn it.
Oh my, she's back. Alright.
Yeah.
So Zwei is Zwei. The Z dude, number 2. You never really see, like, the setup. You just find him in, like, this dark, like, random weird concrete warehouse out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah,
And-
I was okay with that, though. 'Cause
Yeah.
I could just tell that they were gonna have a lot of flashbacks to
Yeah.
like, reveal more about his past as the show progressed.
Yeah, so I didn't mind that. It definitely feels like he's gonna, like, shake shit up, and that was where I was going with this. It's gonna shake shit. He's gonna shake shit up and, like, make things horrible for Inferno, which will be great because they seem like the worst. like
Yeah. So
yeah.
basically, Inferno, what it is they're like
The United Nations of the mob.
They're basically the gang that, like, keeps all the other gangs in check.
Yeah.
And they basically want to just, like, run the states.
Yeah,
like,
they refer to
behind the
themselves
scenes.
as, like, the United Nations if mobs were, like, their own little countries. They are the United Nations of those mobs.
Yeah.
Which I was like, that's being really generous and kind, considering you're the people that kill everybody. Although maybe the United Nations kills people.
I kind of had the same predictions as Becca. Things I liked about the show, the fight scenes were pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The interactions between Ein and Zwei were pretty good. Ein is an interesting character so far. It's definitely makes me want to watch a little bit more just to, see where that relationship goes and see what happens with Inferno and see if Zwei does become a puppet of Inferno.
Yeah.
Or whether he rebels or how long it takes, etc.
Can we talk about Ein for a minute? Because I really liked her.
Yeah, she was probably the best part.
Yeah. I like the fact that they didn't, there's so much potential for them to make this a whole, lovey-dovey romance bullshit thing, and they just have made her, a cold-blooded killer, and I kind of really like that they're letting her just be, the badass that she is.
I'd be okay with a little bit of romance, but, they'd have to do it in a certain way.
Yeah.
And not push it right away.
Yeah. I feel like the romance is kind of a little bit like Steins Gate, where it comes in towards the later half of the anime, where you're kind of given the characters as themselves first, rather than them in this couple situation. I
will say they do a good job of that in this show, letting characters be their characters first, and then...
Yeah.
I'm not even saying those two together, I won't tell you, what happens, but, they just do a good job with character development.
Nice. Yeah, that was one thing I particularly liked, and, really started to come to the forefront, was just, like I said, her just being a badass, and, her clearly knowing who she is and what she does. There isn't, that trope of her being, a really whiny anime girl, or her being overly skilled, if that makes sense. She's definitely trained.
She's not trying too hard, which is what's good.
Yeah.
She's just well, this is the situation I'm in, so... Yeah.
Yeah, so I particularly liked her, and that was one of the highlights for me. Yeah. I know we discussed it, a little bit before that we started recording, but I do really like that the one guy looks like Pegasus from the Yu-Gi-Oh!
From the Yu-Gi-Oh!
From the Yu-Gi-Oh! Specifically. He's got, that long, straight, silver hair, and it, peeks up in the front like Pegasus, and he's also wearing, the cravat and, the what looks to be, a velvet suit and everything. He just, it's like they ripped Pegasus out of Yu-Gi-Oh! And put him in this show.
I didn't think
and then, I had said, too, was the blonde, who is, one of the heads of Inferno, then also kind of looks like Mai, who was the girl, Joey had the hots for in Yu-Gi-Oh! So it's, pretty funny.
Yeah. And the main character, Zwei, he actually reminds me a lot of the character design for Hiro Yui from Gundam Wing. A lot of it felt like I've seen that character design elsewhere, but it didn't bug me. It just popped out, if that makes sense.
For me, if anything, that might have actually worked because he's supposed to be Japanese and everyone else is American around him. So maybe that's why they went for that.
I kind of got the feeling that Ein is Chinese.
Yeah, I think
because of her shirt.
Yeah, her shirt and the way they cut her hair. There's something about it that makes it feel particularly Chinese to me.
I didn't pick up on that,
yeah.
But that's a cool theory.
I'll look it up.
I could see that happening.
I know that was the one thing, too, that I really liked, was, we don't see a lot of animes that are set in North America, for understandable reasons. So I thought that was kind of cool that it's something set in North America, and they do definitely have, some diversity in their cast, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, voice actor-wise if there is, but just presentation of, one of the bad guys that shows up happens to be Spanish. Which isn't a comment on the Spanish, but it was somebody else besides everyone kind of default being Japanese.
From the little bit I'm reading here, it's saying, Mongolia.
Nice! So close.
Close.
Mm-hmm. Very close.
Mm-hmm.
Very close.
Yeah, I thought it was a good show. I don't know if it's actually compelled me enough to watch more of it. Mostly just because it's not my genre. It was good, but it wasn't intriguing enough for me to spend more time watching it. Haven't come to a final decision, but leaning towards watching something else.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat as you, Liam. I'm definitely talking about it, I'm realizing the pieces that I enjoyed more, but it definitely, when I finished watching it, I wasn't I want to watch more. Just kind of wanted to...
Meow.
I have cookies. Fuck. Yeah, I don't know. I might go back and watch more. What else am I doing with my life? So
I think if there's that little bit of intrigue there, I would, because it does on that 4th, 5th episode, it does start to get into things more. His training's done. that kind of thing.
So here's kind of the deciding question then, is this an anime that runs for like 24 episodes, or is it an anime that runs for 50 or more?
It's 26.
Okay, well, that's not...
Mm-hmm.
It could be worse. I'll have to think about it. That's like my final thoughts. I'm kind of like, I enjoyed it enough to say positive things, but not enough to necessarily seek it out.
If I was gonna watch an anime about crime and gangsters and stuff like that more, I should probably just go back and watch more of Gangsta, because I think I enjoyed that one more.
Oh, I loved that anime so much. I'm so sad it's not getting a second season.
I know.
So good. It's so good.
What?
The first season's just kind of almost a cliffhanger, too.
Oh,
So good.
No.
That was like one of my favorite animes of the seasons. When I found out it wasn't getting any more and it was only 12 episodes, I was like crushed.
Why is it all the
Veda can attest to this.
Why is it all the shitty animes live forever, but the good animes end after 12 episodes?
I know, right?
Money.
Shonen Jump. I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah, actually, this is a pretty good answer.
Stupid Shonen Jump.
Shonen Jump.
So, Leah,
Alright.
do you want to try and sway us to watch more of this?
Yeah, I could give you a couple reasons to keep watching it if you want.
Hit me.
That aren't well, I can't spoil it thoroughly. I can tell you that there was one part in the anime where I was like, what the fuck? Oh my god, no. And then
boy.
was like, no! And then you have to keep watching.
Okay, I'm
How
gonna
long
need a
do we
little
have to
bit more
watch to get to that
context.
point?
Honestly, the last time I watched this anime was years ago, so I don't even really recall. I think it was about halfway through. But I can tell you to give you a little more of a taste, because you both like Ein so much.
Yes.
Things do get interesting. A romance does bud, but not in the way you think.
Oh, can we talk about that creepy scene with the Scythe Master and Ein
Yes.
for a minute?
Yes.
Oh god.
I completely forgot about that for a moment until you
Take
said
off your
romance.
clothes, Ein. It's
Yeah.
time to lube up.
Yeah, I was like,
It's like rubs cream all over her body. Or
I
whatever.
was, it's like,
Wait, what?
yeah, so Scythe Master is the guy that's kind of like the keeper of these two. They're basically being Ein's a trained assassin, and Zwei is being trained to become an assassin. And
Right.
Scythe Master feels like he's kind of like the keeper of these two for Inferno.
But yeah, and Ein is like his masterpiece, so he wants Ein to make Zwei
Right.
as perfect as
masterpiece.
she is. Yeah. So while he's like giving the speech about how she's going to make Zwei as perfect as she is, he has her stripped down naked, and then he like covers her in lube or like oil or something. But he had just finished cleaning a gun, so it kind of comes off as like he's cleaning his weapon, which
Yeah.
is really fucked up on a couple
It
different
wasn't
levels.
like it wasn't overly. Well, it was sexual,
It was
but
sex-
it wasn't like.
Yeah, but it's
Yeah.
like more possessive than anything.
Yeah, like that was the thing where I was
Right.
like, it's kind of like he's cleaning her as an object, but she's naked, so it definitely still has like that feel of like sexual connotation to it.
Weird.
It was kind of creepy and like a really weird scene to read. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So is he the person that she starts a romance with?
No.
Oh, damn it.
Well, I don't even mean necessarily that Ein's in the romance. You just have to watch it. It's good. And then there's this one part where you're like, fuck no. And then you want to keep watching because you want to know what happens. And it's just good. I liked it, basically. I would give it like another like 2 episodes or so before you like make your decision.
Okay.
Just like watch that 4th, 5th episode, yeah.
Alright, well, I'll do that after I watch the stuff Becca's lent me, because I want to
Yeah.
get the DVD back.
Finish Gargoyles!
Well, hey,
Oh shit, yeah.
I'm almost done unpacking from moving.
Ah, fair enough, yeah. I'll give you another month, I guess. Should you guys talk about the bad
Alright.
anime?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so the bad anime this week was one that I picked that was like up for debate,
Controversial.
basically controversial. So it's called Gantz. Gantz. I don't know how you actually
However,
pronounce
I
it.
don't actually know.
It's one of those weird words where you can read it normally and then you say it out loud and it's just weird.
Or you could be like Becca, just pronounce it however the hell you feel like.
I feel like if it was
There
like
you go.
Japanese pronunciation, it'd probably be like Gantz.
Gantz.
I think it was Gantz.
Yeah,
wasn't
who
it?
knows? Or yeah, it
fuck,
could
I don't
be
even
either way.
remember.
I don't know. Actually, yeah, it'd be more of a ga.
God.
It doesn't matter. Anyway, it's more controversial because when you look at reviews for it, people are either like, I hated it, this anime was like disgusting and cruel and too sexually explicit, or people like loved it because it was like a gritty, one of the original Death Game animes, that kind of thing. So I'll read the description, or a little short description here. Alright, so you thought your life was bad, sometimes death is worse. There's no salvation, peace, nor God waiting to receive you into their care. But when you're talking about that big black ball stuck in the room with you, and now you're thrown into a game fighting green aliens and robot monsters for the chance to survive,
Aliens.
you basically just start to second guess death a little bit. So when Kei Kuno is killed, he finds himself caught in such a game, testing his skills, morals, and will to survive. A word of warning, Gantz is not for the faint of heart, neither is it as simple as it looks. Gore, rape, and violence is rampant, as are the portrayals of greed, violence, and all the ugliness that one sees in today's society.
Great.
Alright.
Sounds like a real
Beta.
uplifting piece of media.
Yeah.
Right. So I think this anime caused me to laugh unintentionally a lot more than I was expecting it to. I don't know. This is a very.
I think it's one of those things that are so, weird and dark, you kind of have to laugh, because you're just like, what?
There were also sometimes just some janky animation was happening. And,
Yes, that is definitely true. What year is this anime?
That.
It's from 2004.
It should be better, but
it should be better.
It's not.
It's not.
Anyway, I'll go into that later.
Yeah.
Is it not better?
What do you mean better?
Well, quality-wise, I've seen some clips of it, and, I remember when it was first coming out, it was, the hot shit. Everybody was talking about it.
I remember that, too.
Yeah, so...
I think it's more like the animation's inconsistent. It's, really good, but then some things, little details are, I find mostly in their faces are really poor.
That
I wrote
would
some
do it.
Stuff.
Yeah, we can
I'll
get
mention
into
it
that.
later.
Yeah.
What were your initial thoughts, Leah?
I don't know. It was the first episode, I was kind of okay, this is interesting, because basically, what happens is the main character, he runs into this guy he went to high school with at the train station, and then was it an old man?
Old woman.
A homeless guy, old woman.
Yeah.
Sorry, I watched this a week ago.
It's okay.
Someone falls into the train track, and I actually found this a really interesting scene, because I found it very realistic. Where it was just the crowd of people, and you could tell they were all some of them were trying to consider if they should help the person. Some people,
for some reason, you could hear everyone's thoughts, but they never explained how.
Yeah, I think it was just,
like a style choice?
Yeah, a style
position.
So, some of them are deciding, should I go save this person? Some people were judging, being like, ugh, what a dumbass, that sort of thing. So then the high school friend goes down to help the person because he's the only decent
good
human
person
being there. And so then the main character basically only goes to help him because he doesn't want to be shown up.
What?
So
his friend looks at him and his friend's like, "Hey, I know you. Come over here." And he's like, "Shit, why did you say that?" And then everyone looks at him and he's like, "Well, fuck, I can't. Not go now."
So he didn't even help because he technically wanted to. He didn't want to look like a terrible person in front of everyone.
I'm confused. Yeah. Is the friend the person that was saving the other person?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Even worse. Horrible.
Yeah. And anyway, long story short, the friend and the main character get hit by the train. And when they wake up, they're in this room with this big black ball with, two members of the Yakuza, this old man, and a bunch of other random people.
Some guy who looked like Edward Elric.
Fuck yeah!
Only he's a douche.
He totally is.
But, and then of course there's this one naked girl who shows up. And then automatically you know what kind of show it is gonna be, because the two Yakuza guys try and rape her.
Oh no!
One guy walks over and he's just I'm taking her, and he just leaves, and then they're all just
And you literally see a little bit of the struggle.
I feel like that would make me really angry. This is all in the opening episode.
Yeah. It's literally the first 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all just trying to run a shock value.
Pretty much.
Sounds like.
There was one thing about going back to the train for a sec though.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing was the homeless dude fell on the train tracks, and before that had happened, everybody at the train station was all like, "Oh, the train is late. I'm so mad." And then the homeless guy falls on the tracks, and they're all like, "Haha, he's gonna get run over." And I'm like, "Yeah, but if the train runs him over, the
train will be late.
Stop."
You're gonna be even more late.
Yeah, exactly. And I was like, if you just help him, then you wouldn't have to wait for the train. But everyone's like, "Oh, he's gonna get run over," and they all seem like high and righteous.
Like they're all judging him.
That's ridiculous.
Stupid.
But I think it's interesting though, because like that's how a lot of people do think when they see like homeless people or drunk people or whatever, you know.
It's realistic in that sense. Yeah.
I feel like also, my last thought would be, he deserves it. Like,
yeah,
Christ.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I know.
There was also like when they first bring in the main character, he like kind of, you hear his like inner monologue, and he's basically just like inner monologuing about how he hates everyone and thinks they're all beneath him, and then he says this line, and he's like, "I may not look like it, but I look down on the rest of the world." And I was like, "Oh really? I hadn't noticed."
Yeah, the main character is such a douche.
And this is the person you're supposed to be rooting for the whole time?
No, that's the thing with this show, is the only person you kind of want to root for is the friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he's supposed to be, like, the more, like, typical hero kind of personality.
Well,
like, clearly has a good, like, heart.
He's, like, the only good person that ends up in that room, aside from the naked girl who shows up, but she's basically just a useless naked female.
Yeah, she's, like, the really generic, like, feeble female stereotype.
Yeah, can we talk about the dog for a second, Beta?
Oh my god! Oh
Whoa.
God. Okay,
Never heard Beta act like this before.
There's a dog in the room.
Is it a good dog?
Okay,
is it a dog that lives?
The naked girl shows up, right? And then the Yakuza tries to rape her, and then the friend saves her, and then a bunch of shit goes down. And then she's like sitting in the corner of the room, and like it just like, it just cuts and like.
I'll say it. I'll say it.
It pans over, and the dog is like going down on her.
What?
What?
And she's like not pushing it away. She's making like typical
she's
like.
She's just going and this dog is just like.
This is
going to town.
This is after she's been raped.
So she hasn't been
raped.
So the best friend goes in, or not the best friend, the high school friend goes in to like stop the Yakuza from raping her, basically.
Yeah. Good guy, best friend.
So he stops them or whatever, and they're like, well, whatever, and they, like, leave the room, and the girl just is, like, kind of sitting there in the corner, being like, well, oh my god, that was close kind of thing. And yeah, the dog just walks over and starts...
Where did this dog come from?
The dog was in the room when they all appeared there.
Why?
We don't know yet, but the dog was there. She's not really like she's like making sounds, of course, like typical Japanese, like that she's enjoying it, but at the same time she's like all like stressed out.
She's probably like in the context of the character, she's probably so traumatized because she was just almost raped. She showed up in this like random room naked.
No, I know, but if you could see it, like it's definitely more on the like fan service.
Oh,
gross! Like they put it in there.
That's gross.
Yeah, and like
basically like disappears after that.
Yeah, like that's literally all he does.
Plot device.
Yeah,
dog
and then
that eats out a girl. All right.
Basically,
that's not.
And then of course the main character is kind of like just watching it happen, and it's kind of in a way like turning him on until the best friend like gives the girl his coat and is like, cover yourself up before I do something to you.
Okay, I'm taking back.
He kept like staring at her and being like, hey, boobs, and you're like, dude, fucking do something.
And then of course the main character gets all like, whatever, I'm the one who tried to help her first, when like the girl is trying to like stay closer to the good guy. Because he's the only one who actually
and
helped
he's like,
her.
why does she like him and not me? It's like,
Sounds like a horrible, horrible anime, like on like a couple different levels.
It's just like the way that they're portraying these people, and that the main character is someone you're supposed to root for, but he's like this terrible person, is just not good.
Yeah, I mean, I get the whole like, oh, we're portraying everybody so bad, so like that's good, but it feels like they're just relying on shock value way too much.
A little bit, yeah.
But like things that are like offensively over the line. At least in my book. Holy shit. Well,
Yeah, that's just like the first episode, so
Yeah.
we still have 2 more to talk about.
I know.
Well, the third episode's really boring. I couldn't really care less about the third episode, but
well, there's no dog rape happening.
It's like this screenshot when the friend like gives her his jacket. He like reaches over to give her the jacket, and he's like, "Put that on so I don't rape you too." And I was like,
yeah.
What is this?
Yeah.
Oh god.
And it's weird, Becca, because I get what you were trying to say about her. You know, like, oh well, this just happened to
Yeah,
her, and she should
yeah.
be traumatized. But that's the thing; she's not really. Like,
Yeah,
they
she's
don't do a very
fine.
good job at making her
She just
like
seems-
stressed out about the situation.
Well, like, I guess that could be, like, portraying shock, because some people
No,
will,
like
shut
she's literally
down,
just doesn't
doesn't
they don't
care at all.
give her any emotion.
And then
That-
Not in
like
like a good way. Not in like a she's
Yeah.
frozen and doesn't know what to do, paralyzed. Like kind of she's just like accepted that and then was like, okay.
It's like
yeah, and then
they didn't take the time to
and then-
write an actual reaction for her kind of
No.
way.
No.
even in like the second episode, which takes place on the same night, there's one point where they like have to like kill this alien thing because the ball told them to do it, and they're like, there's a whole bunch of shit happens, but anyway, at one point the one dude's standing there and he's like, "Do I shoot it?" And she's just standing next to him, like the main character, mind you, is questioning whether or not to shoot this alien, and this chick who's supposed to be traumatized is standing behind him, being like, "Shoot it! You have to shoot it!"
Yeah, like it's just kind of inconsistent.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically, in I don't know if it's at the end of the first episode or at the beginning of the second, whatever. This black ball opens up and it has all these like weapons, and it's basically like, we're sending you all on this mission. And the mission, like, this isn't exactly how it happens. But long story short, the mission is just that they have to go and kill this alien for this larger reward.
Yeah.
So some of the people decide to try and like go home, and then of course like all the gangster people are like, fuck yeah, we're gonna go kill this alien.
Yeah.
The thing was, like, the aliens just sort of came out of nowhere. They didn't, like...
Yeah.
It was just and kill aliens, not whatever.
And there was something about the government, and, like, I don't know.
They didn't explain it very well.
Yeah, like, or they did if you're watching it, but it's kind of hard to explain, but...
Yeah.
Then, okay, so they find this alien, which disgusts me, by the way. I don't know why, I don't know about you, Veda, this alien just, like, really grossed me out. He looks like this little, old... green man with the head of like a chive, like the onion. And all he does is eat chives, like eat onions.
That's weird.
And he's got like these big red pouty lips, and he's like sucking on the onions. And I'm just like, oh my god, like it just grosses me out.
It did.
So you're
And
tired
he's got this like.
So if all he does is eat onions, why didn't he kill him?
Well, that's the thing. So they start chasing him and trying to kill him. And then it's like seems really cruel because like they injure him along the way, and he's like crawling and crying and like missing his arms and like
they
all
don't
this
like
other stuff.
kill him right away. They're like,
No.
we don't know how to kill you, so they end up like maiming him severely before he dies. You're just like, oh.
So
And they have like
torture.
these guns that like shoot, and then it like waits a second, and then your like limb turns into this giant it starts to swell, and then it explodes.
I don't know how that works, but yeah, it's like a laser almost,
lasers.
but not like an actual like.
Sounds like something from District 9.
Yeah. This entire description of this anime is like making me sad for this anime.
It's questionable.
It just like from what I've seen and what I've read, like it basically makes sense. Like I get at the same time why some people would love this anime.
Yeah.
I think it's really good because it is really dark and it's really gritty, and in a lot of ways it is really true to humanity. And it's one of those things where like the reason I don't like it isn't because it's bad animation or it's bad writing. I don't like it because it's just so fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was gonna say on the topic of like everybody like being bad in some way, like I guess that would just be your outlook on how people are. Because
it's just a very like depressing outlook on humanity and the way people's brains work, I guess. It's
I'm
not
sad hearing about it.
Yeah, it's not a very positive show.
No, it doesn't sound
yeah,
like it.
like it's the kind of show where you watch it where like even if if you're kind of entertained, you have like almost like that like
Guilt.
not
like you need
guilt.
to take
Yeah,
a shower.
you have that weight in your chest while you're watching it.
Mm-hmm.
You know that like I can't even like put my like finger on the words, but
Yeah, no,
it's
I
like you're
just kind of,
disturbed.
like-
You're just kind of like
Yeah.
I don't
You
know.
feel bad for watching it?
Is
You
it
feel
the
bad
same?
watching it, but then you want to keep watching it.
Is it the same feeling you get when you're finished masturbating? Then you look at the porn you're watching and you go, "Oh my god, that's what I was watching."
At least you probably got more enjoyment out of that.
Well, I would assume so. But that's the only way I can describe it, is like that like moment of like disgust with yourself because you realize what you're doing is like
Yeah,
I don't want to say it's wrong,
do I keep
'cause that's not-
Or
obviously-
when you stop masturbating, you look at the clock and you're like, I've been masturbating that long.
that long. That was my entire afternoon. I had plans. Yeah.
Speaking of time, though, Beta, I don't know. Did you find this like the episodes like it felt like an eternity watching these 3 episodes?
Yes.
Like
The first episode was like, I was so, like, kind of like, what the fuck is happening? It went shorter, but then the second 2, it just dragged on.
it did, and it's like even though there's action scenes happening, you like think it would like feel faster and more up paced, but it kind of just wanted to keep like scrolling through.
Nothing's
I think
worse
it
than
was partly like,
Go ahead. I'll say it afterwards.
okay. I think it was partly like I noticed when I was watching it that like even the direction. I know it's weird to talk about direction with an anime, but it was really bad. Like the shot compositions were really effed up, and especially at the beginning, they had like the camera movements were really like rigid, so it would just like pan across the room, and then it would just zoom and then zoom out and then pan like straight across the room again, and you're like, okay, nothing's moving, just this weird camera movement going back and forth, and it's just really jarring. And then there was during one of the chase scenes that they had, I noticed that like they would be running, but they would just have like the head kind of in view, so the head's just bobbing up and down and there's stuff moving in the background, and like there's no like real movement to it. It's just sort of like there's a head pretending it's running.
They're running. Yeah.
Yeah, and that scene went on for like 3 minutes, and it was like this is so uninteresting and just.
Well, and I think even how long they like took to kill the alien. Like I know, like the first one, little green one. I know it was tried to like build up that emotion about like the cruelty and just like how long they're dragging it out for, but like. Aside from them trying to like add that to the emotion of the scene, it was just like, okay, like we get it, like please just put him out of his misery already so I can get out of mine. Like,
right? But it was like, it was weird though, because it was like they were trying to go that route where they're like, oh, we don't know whether to kill her or not. But it was all these like people, like the Yakuza. I feel like those guys wouldn't really have second thoughts about killing someone. Just saying.
You're saying you're a Yakuza?
Hey, I would not put it past Veda to not be Yakuza. Remember how sneaky she is?
Well,
I think of Yakuza, I think of sneaky Veda.
I do too. You know what? I bet if we checked, we'd find her giant dragon tattoo on her back.
And that she's missing a pinky.
Yeah. Everyone start watching Veda's hands.
I'll just start wearing gloves.
With a fake finger.
If you started doing that, I would love you for it, just to keep it going.
What? I'm not Yakuza. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You guys are crazy.
So, what?
Scratch his tattoo.
I think like a good comparison to make with this anime, like in regards to like shock value and like grittiness and humanity, like the darkness of humanity being done well, would be like to compare it to B-Tomb.
I
think B-Tomb is done so much better.
I
haven't seen that one.
We watched a little bit of it, the girls, as part of like an anime night, and I actually went home and watched a couple more episodes of it. I didn't mind B-Tomb. I just like,
it was good.
After a while, I was like, I want to watch people not die.
Yeah.
But it wasn't bad
I'd rather watch something like B-Tomb than like.
Well,
I feel like there's a little more development there.
B-Tomb had, like, a little bit of, like, humor to it as well. Like, all I can think of is, like, I think it's the 3rd episode, one guy, like, it opens with this guy, like, taking a crap out in the forest, and then he steps in his own crap, and I was like, that's kind of funny and realistic.
Yeah.
And that was, like, enough to, like, endear it to me a little bit, in a weird way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense.
It sounds like Gantz doesn't even have, like, any humor about it.
Yeah, not
Like,
really.
which makes
that
it even...
like, sorry.
I was gonna say, that just kind of makes it even worse, because, like, nothing's worse than I don't even want to say it, because it's a horrible thing to say. But...
What?
I was gonna say, nothing's worse than sad rape. But...
As opposed to that, like, funny rape.
You don't necessarily want to make it funny, because it's not, like, that's why I said it's not a very good thing to say at all. But, like, at least if there was, like, some kind of levity to balance it, I suppose.
I think what you're trying to say more is there's nothing worse than
that being, like,
just using rape as, like, a
and using it,
like,
using it so cheaply and then not even having anything to balance it out.
That's to say cheaply. There's nothing else to the story to keep you there. It's like you're almost literally watching it just to see that. Which who wants that? Like I get what you're trying to say.
I really want to make a disclaimer of, like, obviously we think rape is horrible, but
Well, I think
people getting eaten out by dogs, on the other hand,
is also horrible. Yes. Although legal in a couple countries, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. But didn't
Liam
also kind of tackle the, like, abuse rape angle?
B2 had a gang rape.
Yeah,
but that to me was done so well.
Tactfully.
It did,
and there was a point to it. It wasn't.
Did I block that out?
You reacted appropriately.
I'm gonna pretend I never watched that part of the show. I don't remember that part. I'm too focused on the guy stepping in his own poop. But
it's way funnier than rape.
It's much funnier than rape.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I feel bad about things I've said tonight.
We're talking about, like, we keep saying things like good rape and bad rape, and that's not a thing. It's all awful.
Yes. A better use of. But still, that still sounds bad.
I know. Let's just
we don't watch any more anime.
Ourselves the feed here.
We don't.
Is there anything else you want to talk about with the anime?
I was gonna mention the music really quickly. Did you listen
to the song?
Hmm?
I loved the opening song. I will say that.
Thought it was
reminded
super
me
weird.
Oh, it reminded me of, like, early 2000, like, white boy rap music. And it just, like, brought me right back. I loved it.
It really was, though.
Like Limp Bizkit?
That had to be, like...
Eminem?
Not Eminem.
Like, more poppy stuff. Like,
it was,
like
pop
Eminem?
Rap. Weird.
Like, if Prozac did rap music.
I don't think... No, there's gotta be a Prozac rap song. I will look for it. I have all 3 CDs.
Mm-hmm. Like, that kind of thing, but that was the only thing I really liked about this whole experience.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned at the beginning that random stuff made me laugh. It was... I don't know. It's just me, personally.
You're an uncomfortable laugher, Veda. If we make you uncomfortable, and your first response is to laugh. So it makes sense.
But no, there was, like, the part where they get hit by the train, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So...
Hilarious.
Oh, no. But it is, okay? There's this whole reason, because they go to get the homeless guy, and they're like, okay, and they lift him off the track, and then they see the train coming, and they're like, oh, and okay, there's a platform right next to them, so the one guy's, like, trying to climb up it, and I'm like, he can literally just jump in and climb up it, and they're like, his friend, like, the main character's friend is like, forget it, let's just run, and I'm like...
It's so true, they could have saved themselves, like, no problem, and they're, like, these 2 tall men, like... Come on.
Like, one of them could have lifted the other one up, and then that one could have pulled the other one up. Like, and then, no, they're like, no, fuck it, we'll outrun the train. Like, yeah, that's a great idea.
I appreciate how you're giving the shitty anime the credit of a doubt that they planned that at all.
But they planned it enough to have the one guy look like he couldn't climb up the platform when it was very obvious that he could.
Yeah.
And then they actually get hit by the train. But I don't know why it made me laugh. It decapitates both of them.
Mm-hmm.
Their heads just go flying onto the platform.
They like decapitations and dismemberment in this anime.
But I was
like the one
how-
alien who got the one that's straight in half and his like spinal cord is just like hanging out.
Oh no.
I know, but how did the train decapitate them?
I don't know.
I can understand maybe decapitating one, but both of them.
But both.
But like the train, it didn't run over them. Like they almost
Just
jumped
smacked them.
into it.
It hit them so hard their heads popped off.
Okay, that was yeah,
That's
I don't know
horrible.
where-
Haven't
And
you
then-
seen those videos of people like falling on their skateboards and their shoes flying off?
Yeah.
Same thing, basically.
You know what? Every now and then on Reddit, like, something pops up where it's basically a gif of someone dying, and occasionally heads pop off. Like,
Oh, just
Oh.
I couldn't take it seriously. And then when they get into the like room with the ball or whatever, his friend is talking, and I don't know what they were talking about, how they died or something, but he's just like, I was attacked by a train. I was like,
Those
oh,
fucking trains.
I don't
Oh,
know.
mercy.
always attacking people.
Yeah, the train went after you, of course. And then, okay, what was it with, you know how animes have those like commercial break things? Like Sailor Moon has the one where they're like, Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
that one. Well, the
Sailor
Gantz one,
Moon.
like, at the beginning it's just sort of like Gantz, and you're like, oh cool, and then it comes back. When it comes back, it does like this like rainbow background, and then there's a little ball that says Gantz in it, and these little children are like, Gantz! And you're like,
Yeah.
this doesn't fit at all.
No.
It was
That sounds
really
magical.
They're just trying to trick people into watching it, thinking it's somebody else or something else.
Ugh.
I
It's about
guess.
happy children in a rainbow. Here's
Oh.
your decapitation
It was
By a
really-
train.
by a train.
Oh, also, Leah, did you notice the, like, kind of budding bromance between the main character and his friend? Or was that just me?
A little bit.
Like, there were parts where the main character's friend would, like, say stuff, and the main character is, like, really, really petty and self-centered.
Mhm.
So his friend wants to be just like him, and he's like, I wanted to be just like you when I grew up, and blah, blah, blah. And then, so he's, like, sitting there, and he's, like, blushing, and he's like, oh, he wanted to be just like me! Like,
Yeah, you're right. I remember that, yeah. It was,
and it didn't
but it's so funny because he's so typical. Like, he'll go through, like, you know, being all like, oh, like, you know, towards his best friend, and then being like, what's so good about him? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
yeah.
At
Oh,
any
God.
point does he realize his friend is actually a horrible human being?
I don't know yet. It's
no.
only
Mhm.
episode
Not
3.
Well, you gotta keep watching, dude.
Yeah, report back next week.
Right.
I
Okay.
guess, I don't know, for not so much my final thoughts, but as far as, like, I don't think I can bring myself to watch any more of this. I have too many mixed feelings. There's parts of me that feel like, not that I should like it, but that, like, I can understand why it's so good, and then the other part of me is like, I literally, as a human being, cannot continue to watch this.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
it's better
Yeah.
for people that want that kind of violence to be able to find it in a animated show than to, like, seek
I
it
think
out
it's-
elsewhere.
I think it's because, kind of like we had mentioned before, was it's like, it's not even like there's anything else in the storyline that's keeping me there to,
Mhm.
like, justify, like, things like the violence and the cruelty and the rape. Like,
Yeah.
if there was
Yeah.
things in the
Yeah.
storyline that were actually, like, basically those things were there for a reason, to add to the storyline, or to, like, add to maybe some point they were trying to make about society,
Yeah.
maybe I could keep watching it. But, like, the storyline
Yeah,
itself, to
exactly.
me, is not justified by all of the shock value they're trying
Yeah.
to put in, basically.
No,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
You know, it's like Game of Thrones, for example. All those things are in Game of Thrones, but you know what? You love it.
They
Yeah.
actually tie them into the plot, and you understand, like, there's reasons that they're there.
Mm-hmm.
It works. I'll just go. My
Well-
closing thoughts were like, yeah, okay, watch again if you feel like it. If you feel like you want to watch violent, horrible people die, I guess.
Mhm.
But don't take anything in this show seriously. I don't know. It just,
Oh, well said.
yeah, it's not.
It's true, because at the same point, it feels really, like, you know, like, serious and, like, gritty and like all these like terrible things with society are happening, but then it still has this weird tone that it's all one giant joke.
A little bit.
Not even
Well,
a joke, but it's just...
I'm still not entirely clear on what the concept of the death game is, or like what the specific death game they're doing is.
Yeah.
It's not even that greatly outlined in the first 3 episodes. They basically, all these people died in their real lives. They're brought into this room with this black ball, and the black, like, big spherical ball, whatever, sends them on a mission. And then I believe basically the whole point is to stay alive during the mission, and then I think you get scored, you get ranked as well.
Okay.
Kind of like Hunger Games.
Yeah, and if your ranking's not high enough, then... I don't know, Veda, what is it? If you have the lowest ranking, you get killed. Like, they kind of haven't gotten to that part
Maybe
yet.
You get...
Like, the first 3 episodes is literally, like, the first mission. And then I was looking at the episode names, and then the 4th episode is, like, what's your score, or whatever. So they'll probably, like, expand on it more.
Maybe they get turned into the onion-eating aliens, and then they get killed if they're the loser.
Whoa.
For some reason...
That'd be, like, exactly like Hunger Games.
Well, for some reason, I feel like, I'm like looking back on like my really old memory of what I thought Gantz was about. I thought it came down to like people eventually killing other people. So
that's what I thought it was, but I guess
it could be other people. The alien could have just been the first mission.
Yeah.
And then
or like maybe they're being
they
like
do say the government, like it's bureaucrats who are deciding what their mission is.
Or like maybe they're being subjected to like drugs or something that make them think that the other people are these aliens, which is super fucked up. Like I don't know.
I think you're giving the show too much credit.
Maybe I am.
I agree with Liam.
I'm just trying to make it fit my memory, so I'm just gonna bend it until it goes. Of course, my memory remembers it as something that doesn't involve someone almost getting raped and eaten out by a dog.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hate it when
I
that
just like to forget about that scene.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Alright, well...
Makes Boku no Piku sound like a walk through the park.
Did we all have an interesting
I don't know about that,
week? Do I rule as the bad anime picker?
Well, this is better.
Still the bad anime queen.
Sounds like the bad one was more exciting than the good one.
I feel like the
But
good...
thanks for not making me watch that.
Yeah.
Air quote.
I feel like the good one was exciting. It just doesn't stand up to how horrible the bad one was. Yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Alright.
Exciting-ish. So, Veda's the picker for next week?
Yep.
I believe so.
Alright.
I got red marble. We're gonna do the marble pull first straight, though.
Yeah, I think so.
So, Veda got the red marble last week, so for anyone who doesn't know by now, get your shit together. Otherwise...
Go watch some other episode.
Listen to some other episodes. You can watch them, but they're awfully boring on the eyes.
Oh, right, I guess. Never mind.
I'm not saying don't watch them, I'm just saying.
Go listen to some other episodes.
Yeah.
Veda got the red marble, so she's going to pick the bad anime and the good anime. We are going to draw some marbles here to see who is going to watch
Who gets to watch it? Alright, who's going first this week? Leah? Alright.
Yes.
Alright, the marbles have been shook in.
Fuck off.
You got the red marble.
God damn it.
That's 2 weeks in a row. It's been the first one to pop out.
It is.
Damn it!
Alright.
I got some really good ideas. I was hoping it would be me or Liam.
Sorry.
Anger! Next time.
Leah, who are you taking with you?
Becca.
Yay!
Okay, Becca. Yeah. We haven't talked in a while.
I'm so worried. I feel like we haven't.
About anime, no?
No.
Come on,
been a little while.
Talking for an hour.
Well, I know, but like, you know...
About the same thing. Yeah.
Okay.
That's alright.
Yeah.
Veda?
Taking Becca with me.
I have some animes here.
Hit me.
This week, I kind of went with a magical girl theme. I know that's not everyone's preferred genre, so just bear with me.
It had to happen
They're good.
sometime.
Yeah,
It's the good show I like.
I foresee so many magical girl episodes at the end of life. So many.
Yep.
Okay.
I think I'm gonna go with the good one first, just because. So the good anime for this next week is going to be Maho Shoujo Madoka Magica.
Yes!
I think I've watched some of this.
I wanted to watch that one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, thank God. Okay, so
Well, I've heard good things about it.
I've heard so much about it. Even I would be okay watching it.
I think
Yes,
I've watched some of this.
I've actually seen it before, but it's been a really long time, so I don't remember a lot. So the description here is Madoka Kaname and Sayaka Miki are regular high school girls with regular lives, but all that changes when they encounter Kyubi, a cat-like magical familiar, and Homura Akemi, the new transfer student. Kyubi offers them a proposition. He will grant one of their wishes, and in exchange they will each become a magical girl, gaining enough power to fulfill their dreams. However, Homura, a magical girl herself, urges them not to accept the offer, since everything is not what it seems.
Does Homer look like Homer?
No, Homura.
Does Homura look like Homer?
No.
Already let down.
I'm sorry. I let you down.
Bring it. I want to hear what am I feasting upon
Hey,
this week.
you didn't let me down.
Oh, cool. So the bad anime I picked for this week, I forgot to mention that, like, I tried to make them, because Madoka Magica is kind of for a little bit of an older audience. I know, I'm hanging in there. So I tried to pick them for a little bit older audiences. So
Older magical.
the bad anime, a little bit. Well, they're not. The characters themselves are old.
Yeah.
The bad anime is Vivid Red Operation.
I
That
know
already sounds terrible.
that one.
Weird.
Vivid Red. Are you sure it's not porn?
Yes, I am sure.
Oh well, that's
Trust
so...
It's okay. So the synopsis is: friendship is the key to protecting the world.
Oh boy.
That's everyone's wish. Here in a world where science has solved all questions. The story is set in Oshima. The happy, carefree 14-year-old Akane Ishiki lived a poor but well-loved life together with her reliable sister Momo, who does all the housework, and her grandfather Kenjiro, a genius inventor who only creates useless devices. When the weather is clear, they can see the artificial island, Blue Island, clever, across the sea.
I hope it's the island.
In the center.
I hope it's the island where all the Disney villains live, because I've seen this.
I would like it to be stated that when you look up Vivid Red Operation on Google Images, the options you can pick from are GIF, fan service, and docking.
Docking?
And it basically looks like Sailor Moon and Eureka 7 had a really bad magical girl baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So, in the center of that island rises the revolutionary manifestation engine, a discovery that solved the world's energy problems. It's peaceful and everyone's happy. But suddenly the world is visited by danger. An unknown enemy, the Alone, that's clever again, appear, targeting the manifestation engine, as none of their weapons worked and they fell into despair. Wow. A lone girl takes a stand wearing a red pallet suit, which wields great
Oh my
hidden
god,
power.
it's this one!
Yeah,
Oh
and
no.
before long, allies gather around her to fight, and friendship saves the world.
What's this called?
This sounds
again?
way more complicated than it needs to be for a magical girl
Vivid
anime.
Red
Description's very
Operation.
long. Vivid Red Operation. So like vivid and then red,
Okay.
but it's all one word.
Oh,
I
Annie
need to
Plex,
look
that's
at
why.
pictures of this.
I
just so
found
can-
that GIF that you sent the other day, Veda, with the chick in the bathing suit. That's why I say, oh, it's this one.
Yes.
Oh no.
Prepare yourself.
Can you send
Oh,
us this gift?
I don't want to, Liam.
Do it anyway.
It's gonna make you feel dirty. Oh no.
I'm permanently dirty.
I'm gonna
Okay.
grab it.
Come on, I'm a guy that does a podcast about anime. I'm dirty. I've accepted it.
What does it say about us?
Sorry.
Oh, it
Okay.
came up as a
well,
GIF, but it's not a GIF.
Prepare yourselves for next week.
You know what? I'm
I
so
shall.
pumped for Magic. I'm excited.
It'll be a nice change of pace from this last week.
Yeah, the last couple weeks. I feel like the last couple weeks have been, like, sad.
Yeah.
and not happy.
Yeah, we need a pick-me-up of
Yeah.
fan-servicey magical girls. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So,
I want to see some butts.
yes.
All the bums.
You'll get that, don't worry.
I'm gonna touch the butt.
Don't forget they're 14.
Yeah.
Thanks for ruining all my dreams, Beta. God. That little dose of reality.
Join us next week.
Join us next week where we talk about how dirty we feel.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
Okay.
comment.
Thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Oh,
Arigato.
talk to us on Facebook. And
Comment, please comment.
should we announce
Podbean.
the thing that we're thinking